Umuoma was a small village tucked into the heart of Imo State. Green hills, red earth, and stories that traveled through generations like wind through leaves. Among its many tales, none shone brighter than the story of a young girl named Chimamanda Nkemjika. From childhood, Chimamanda stood apart. Not just because of her soft caramel skin or intelligent almond-shaped eyes, but because of her brilliance. By age 10, she was reciting Chinua Achebe and solving math puzzles that left her teachers speechless. She carries her ancestors' wisdom in her bones, the village elders often said. That one, she's born for greatness. Her mother, Nneka, a widow who sold gari and palm oil at Nkwo Market, worked day and night to give her daughter a chance at life. Her father, Nnamdi, had died in a tragic road accident when Chimamanda was just 3. All they had left were prayers, brains, and grit. At 16, Chimamanda got a full scholarship to study medicine at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. The entire village held a celebration. Drums were beaten, goats were slaughtered, and old women danced barefoot on the red soil. Before she left, her mother held her close. Nkem, your light is bright. But remember, even fireflies attract bats. Shine wisely. She nodded, clutching the small green box Mama had given her. Her father's wristwatch and a note. Never stop believing in your light. At university, Chimamanda's world expanded. She met people from every corner of Nigeria. She was the kind of girl who always sat in the front row, asked questions and aced exams. Her lecturers called her the future. It wasn't long before she met Obinna Uzechukwu, a final-year law student with a smile that melted the coldest hearts. Obinna was tall, intelligent, with a smooth way of talking that made people listen. He was also from a modest background, raised in ABA, the first in his family to attend university. He had dreams of becoming a human rights lawyer, and his passion matched Chimamanda's. Their first conversation happened at a student debate. She had spoken about medical access in rural Nigeria, and he had approached her afterwards saying, "You don't just speak truth, you breathe it." From that moment they became inseparable. They studied late into the night, shared suya under the stars. He called her Mandi, my sunrise. She called him OBM. She introduced him to her mother over the phone, and Nneka, cautious but polite, said, "He sounds like a good boy. But hearts are fragile things, Nkem. Guard yours." Chimamanda smiled. She believed in Obinna with all her heart. Then came Amaka Nwafor, Chimamanda's roommate and best friend since 100 level. Amaka was smart, fun, and loyal, or so Chimamanda believed. They cooked together, laughed together, shared secrets and sorrows. Amaka had once been dumped by a guy she loved deeply, and it was Chimamanda who held her through the tears, saying, "You'll find someone who values you for real." So when Amaka became close to Obinna, Chimamanda felt no threat. She even encouraged it. "He's like a brother to you now," she laughed once. But behind the laughter, something darker brewed. By final year, Chimamanda noticed Obinna becoming distant. No more surprise visits, fewer phone calls, missed dates. She blamed it on law school pressure. But little signs kept showing up. A perfume scent on his shirt she didn't wear. Whispered phone calls he ended too quickly. Messages left on read. And then whispers. "Your guy day move with your friend oh," someone hinted. Another said, "I saw Obinna and Amaka in town. They looked close." Still, Chimamanda silenced her doubts. "They wouldn't do that to me." She chose love over logic. That fateful day came like thunder from a clear sky. It was a rainy Friday evening. Chimamanda had just finished her final practical exam. As she approached the hostel gates, a message pinged. "Come to Obinna's flat. Come alone. Don't tell anyone. You deserve the truth." Her heart raced. Her hands shook. Rain poured as she rushed, soaked to the bone, to Obinna's off-campus flat. The door was slightly open. He pushed it gently. There, on the bed, Obinna and Amaka, twined, laughing, naked. For a moment all sound died. Binna froze. Amaka screamed, "Mandi, wait, it's not." But Chimamanda didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just turned and walked away. And somewhere between that flat and the hostel, something inside her broke. For 3 days, Chimamanda didn't leave her room. She barely ate, barely spoke. Her roommates feared she would harm herself. She stared blankly at her father's old wristwatch, ticking softly on the table. How could they? Obinna, the man she wanted to marry. Amaka, the sister she never had. The betrayal wasn't just romantic. It was spiritual. It made her question everything. Was she not enough? Was brilliance a curse? Her world, the one she built with so much hope, had shattered. She returned home after her final papers. Her mother took one look at her and knew. That night, Chimamanda finally spoke. She told her mother everything. Every lie, every kiss, every scream she never let out. Nneka held her and wept. My child, even trees that bear sweet fruit get struck by lightning. But they grow again. You will grow again. Healing was not instant. But Chimamanda began to rebuild. She journaled daily. Pages soaked with pain, then wisdom. She joined a rural outreach program in Ebonyi, tending to malnourished children. Giving helped her heal. She graduated top of her class, despite everything. Obinna tried to contact her. Amaka sent an apology letter. She burned it without reading. Some bridges once burned must remain ashes. Chimamanda earned a global fellowship to the UK. In London, she faced racism, loneliness, and long hospital shifts. But she held on. She knew storms never lasted. She specialized in pediatrics. She began writing articles about trauma and resilience. Her voice, once broken, now inspired thousands. She founded a non-profit, Girls Like Me, to mentor young African girls chasing careers in medicine and science. She never forgot home. 10 years later, Chimamanda returned to Umuoma. She had built clinics, trained nurses, spoken at international forums. But standing in her mother's compound, she felt the same barefoot girl who once dreamed under the mango tree. The village held a festival in her honor. Chiefs, teachers, old classmates came. Even Obinna, now a failed businessman, stood at the edge of the crowd watching silently. When Chimamanda stepped up to speak, silence fell. She looked around and smiled. I was once a girl who thought love was everything, who believed friends could never betray. And when it happened, I thought I would die. But I did not die. I healed. I rose. And now, I use my scars to light the path for others. Thunderous applause filled the air. Obinna wept quietly. Amaka, now married and distant, watched from behind a tree, unable to approach. Chimamanda did not look for them. She was no longer their victim. She was her own victory. In her office in Abuja, Chimamanda placed her father's old wristwatch on her desk beside a framed quote. Brilliance may be betrayed, but it can never be buried. She smiled. And the clock ticked on. End.